submitting. All your free will is submitting.
It's against free will. Now he's saying free will. Make up your mind, Mr. Francis.
Eternal damnation.
You just contradicted yourself.
No, I haven't.
You said submitting by free will. You just said it.
Choices come with a cost. It's
will.
not free.
Yes.
To somebody else's will of your free choice is free will.
Thank
but
you.
Not if you are blackmailed.
You're free to go to
There's no
hell as
blackmail. That's a
well.
consequence.
No, it's a threat.
Wait, bro. Do you not realize what you just said? That you said if somebody submits by his free will, yes. I think your look. Allow me to finish. Allow me to finish. Your main contention is this: why would God punish someone eternally? That's your main contention. No. So what is your main contention?
My main contention is by putting a threat of eternal damnation if you don't do what I say.
Yeah.
Makes it not a free choice.
Why? Why?
Because it's not free. You're
Okay.
not right.
So basically, like I gave you, I don't think you understood the analogy I gave you earlier. Yes. The only difference in the analogy which I gave you of a student and a test is the degree of the consequence. That's all the differences.
No, it's not. It's not the only difference.
So what's the difference?
As I said to you
Go on.
earlier, the difference is that you or your parents have given authority to that teacher to give you a set of consequences that has been agreed by that within the human realm.
Why did you bring parents in?
Yeah, because your parents give the teacher
Wait.
authority.
Do you?
You're at university.
You know right now.
That you've given the university teacher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So by free will.
But when you
So
were
wait.
born,
I don't think you understand it really.
When you were
You're
born-
missing the point.
When you were born into this world, you said that we didn't have a choice to be born.
Okay, first and foremost, let's take one step at a time because right now you want to go all over the place. Maybe you have realized that what you said is basically nonsensical. When you say by your own will, if you go to attend a test, yes. So for example, right now you could be a student of the Open University, say for example, and you went and attended a test over there, yes. What that means is that you have decided by your own free will to go and submit to the rules of the test, that I will accept the consequence of this test.
Yes.
If I fail, then this will be the consequence.
Yes.
If I pass, this will be the reward. Now you keep mentioning eternal damnation, but you forget the eternal reward as well. No, wait, let me finish. Eternal reward and eternal damnation are a consequence of the test which God has already told you. So it's not like some secret thing that you'll be chucked into hellfire for no reason at all. Now wait. No, let me make this point. In the case of the student who attends a test by his own free will, yes, and he submits to the rules of the test, that he'll accept the consequence, it's by free will. Similarly, you living in this world, wait. You're living in this world, if you're going to live your entire life of 60, 70, 80 years, whatever it's going to be, yes, at gunpoint, then you would have an excuse on the day of judgment that I submitted to someone who had the gun at my temple that he could have killed me. But because you do not have such a situation, you live a free life. So you make your choices freely by your own volition. No one's forcing you to do that. When you have clearly got the message, and you have come to Speaker's Corner many times, the Muslims have talked to you that when you submit to Allah, this will be the reward. When you reject Allah and His laws, this will be the consequence. So you know the consequence already. No one is forcing you to go either way. You, by your own decision, by your own free will, have decided to reject Allah as a God.
His point is that you don't choose to come into the test that is life. So therefore, it's not the same as going for a test because you just are born.
No, I already addressed that. I said I agree that you did not have the choice. You did not have the choice to come to this world, but because look, even if he was an ant or came as a horse, he wouldn't have a choice either.
You've got the choice to thrive or to.
Whatever you are now is the test.
Look, you used
whatever you are now, you sound Buddhist.
Whatever it means, a human being.
Is going to university, going to school, and you're giving a degree of your sovereignty to that teacher to give you a consequence that you do or you don't get it. This is the point that you've just repeated. It's a bad analogy.
Why?
Because when you come into this world, you haven't got a choice about the authority that you're giving away. You're basically under the test of God in your worldview, under the test of God, whether you like it or not, and you have got consequences that you haven't chosen to play the game in. And so the analogy, you may have a point, but the analogy does not work.
Okay, the analogy does work because the reason for you to be in this world and for you to now use your wait a minute.
We're talking logic, though. So
The fact that you're able to rationalize this argument now, even that has been given to you by God. Your existence is for God. Yes? So when God created you, yes, it was for a reason. For you to obey the command of God who created you. Now, if you're going to complain to God, why did you create me as a human? What would you like to be created as, if not a human?
No. The issue that you're making is within the internal logic of a monotheistic religion.
which you ascribe to, though. You
No,
said
he
there's
doesn't.
only one God.
No, he
said
believes
pan is all-
For him, that thing over there, which is material, is God. This road is a God. The whole universe for him is a God. I don't know how they logically identify that, but I wouldn't consider something not
But he's
sentient even
dictating the
to be
terms
God.
of logic, so let's tread
But that's not
carefully.
logical to
I
use
know.
sentient beings as God.
I think
Non-sentient
I think
beings
you
even.
find that this is one big quantum field, and there is no distinguishing of energy particles or.
Yeah, but where did they all come from? Where did God come
Nothing,
from? Where did your material God come from?
Yeah, it is.
It was created. It's a creation of
Where did the
creation
universe
of the Almighty God.
originate? How did it come to expand? But no, because it's
It's not eternal.
expanding.
No scientist says it's eternal.
Hold on.
No scientist
Not
says
from
it's
a
eternal.
scientific viewpoint.
In
No,
f-
and not from a
Do you
religious
know
viewpoint.
what? Do you know the laws of thermodynamics doesn't
It's
make it
expanding
possible
into
for it to
what?
be? Do you know something called entropy?
Yes.
Entropy wouldn't allow the universe to be eternal. Based on the laws of physics of this very universe, it wouldn't be eternal. So don't tell me it's eternal because no scientist, no credible scientist says it's eternal. Well, name me one.
Him.
I don't think he's a scientist.
He is now.
He wouldn't have said
But
eternal.
the fact is that it's expanding, so it's expanding into something as a result of a force at the beginning, which,
Yeah.
goes outwards. So it must have a central point in time.
It
and
must have a
space.
beginning.
And
in the beginning, God said.
every star that you are in, or every place that you are in the
Yeah.
universe, everything is expanding outward from that.
Exactly,
Every
so it's
position
not
that you're
eternal.
In,
There was a-
everything-
Which means
So
at
in
some
the
point it was smaller. Now it's
No,
God
what I mean
said
is
so.
that everything is a centre of that expansion.
No,
yeah, but expansion.
no. But that's not true.
Expansion actually implies that at some point it wasn't that big. It was smaller than that. Yes, which means
And
it
then
was
before that it
finite,
was smaller
which
again,
means
and
it wasn't
smaller again, and
eternal,
smaller
as you
again.
keep saying. There's no evidence you have that the universe was eternal because entropy wouldn't allow it. The
So
law.
have that.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into it because
Of course you wouldn't, because you wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be.
But that's all your God.
You know, you said earlier. You said illogical. What you just said is illogical. That the universe is
But we
eternal.
have to use your
It's
logic
quantum field
when you're
theory that I
clearly
can't
irreligious.
You can't just throw words like quantum field theory and expect it to be eternal. No quantum field theory says it's eternal.
That Paul was an apostle, but we've now
Yeah.
come to this guy's
By the way, you know your earlier question that you didn't have a choice to come to this world. You don't have to worry about that. You know why? Because you already are here.
So he says that basically
The fact that you are here,
The point that I'm making that
as
you're not
a
really
gun to
addressing
your head,
is that it's
therefore
not a
free will
free
is
choice.
kind of
it is.
real.
It is. Once you're here, it is a free choice.
You haven't had the
Get
choice
out
that
of
you're
it
in. You
without
haven't got the
consequence.
choice
You
of
can't
who
choose
your
to say,
parents are.
"I'm out."
You haven't got a choice
Do
where
you know
you're
what I mean?
born
We
to.
don't-
You haven't got a choice which body you're in. You haven't got a choice about a whole load of things.
Okay, what would you have done?
No, wait.
Let me ask you a fair question. Yeah, I heard you. Let me ask you one question. Let's say you had a choice to come this world. Would you be a human or something else?
I have no idea.
Well, you're talking hypothetically, so I'm asking you a hypothetical
Would you
question.
like another
Yes?
viewpoint? This gentleman wanted to be involved somewhat. I've explained the
If you-
premise, and he said, nah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Exactly.
I want to know your question. No, but
you had just
it's
done that.
be-
Then we'd
no,
have
no.
really
You
done.
you talked a lot about free will. So I'm asking you, using your free will, what
I
would you?
haven't got free will.
No, from your perspective.
I haven't got free will.
So you're saying from your pantheistic perspective, you have no free will. So you're no different to us then. So why are you objecting all this time? I don't. So all of a sudden you're saying you have no free will even in your own worldview.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because in my own worldview,
After all that.
How can you choose to
in my
answer that
own
question in
worldview-
the affirmative?
In my own worldview,
He's got no choice.
compared to your two worldviews, the
which you know so
difference
well
is-
after 10 minutes.
is that no one is to blame. That is the difference.
Everyone is to
What-
blame. That's the point.
I know that's the difference.
Wait, so you're saying
No,
what?
everyone is
so,
to blame from a
so let me
Christian
get this right. You're telling.
Everyone's responsible,
So
but
you're.
no one's
Wait,
to blame.
you're
Everybody's
telling
to
me that
blame.
if you commit a crime, you're not to be blamed?
Everyone's responsible.
Everybody sins against
their
God.
No. Answer the question. If you commit a crime, are you to be blamed?
A crime, it depends who defines
You.
It depends on who defines
Your
the crime.
definition
Okay.
of a crime.
Your definition.
Shut up.
Do you know what? Wait. Do you know what a crime means?
Yes.
What is a crime?
Breaking the laws of the local country.
Yeah, and if you did that, would you be accountable?
I don't know because I may. I
Doesn't know.
You see what I mean? That's a.
Accountable to a magistrate.
If
If
I
you're
go
caught.
to another country,
Yeah.
and I don't know what the laws of that country are.
No, but if you knew.
Ignorance is
Well,
no
but
defense.
You're changing the.
I'm
And
not.
that's what God
I'm not.
says.
You define. I defined it as crime, and you gave me the definition as well.
So using your definition, are you accountable for your
It's called
choices that
nuance.
led to the
It's
crime?
called nuance.
Okay, nuance. Let's see nuance.
No, it's called
Using.
sarcasm.
Okay, using nuance. If you want to call it that, no problem. Let's say you went to a country. Yes, any country you go, is murder wrong? Any country.
Are there any countries where
You're
it's legal?
Yeah.
broadening the issue.
No. You are.
You're
You know what you're doing.
understating
You.
the issue.
Yeah, exactly. You are now trying to be. For some reason you're trying to reject the obvious. You're completely rejecting what many consider to be obvious. For example, you don't even need to be in a country, any country,
Stealing is wrong.
even a person who has never come to a civilized world, who might be living in a forest somewhere, even they would know to take the life of another person is wrong instinctively. They would know this because this is something which we call fitrah in Islam. That means you are programmed in such a way as a human being that you would know when you harm someone, kill someone, instinctively you would know that is wrong.
Can I just say, you know, how do you get that fitrah?
Fitrah is programmed into you
Programmed by who?
by God.
By Allah.
Yes.
And how do you get your soul?
Say again?
How do you get your soul?
Again from Allah.
From Allah?
Yes.
How do you get your body?
Same.
Don't you get your
Everything
body
that
from
is
your
yours,
mother's womb?
everything that is yours, including your mother, they came from Allah.
So we've got the fitrah, we've got the soul, and we've got the body.
Yeah, they are.
It's the Trinity. It's the Trinity.
Is that supposed to be a joke?
Potentially, but it's a pretty poor.
Now that you know what he has done because he couldn't answer a logical
Completely
question.
avoided the question.
Yeah, exactly. This is called basically smokes and mirrors. That's what he has done. You're very good at that.
I
What
can
is the
answer
answer?
that.
You
Is
can
it
answer, of
murder?
course.
I can answer the question.
Go for it.
When was your freedom paid?
Murder is wrong. You know that. You know that. Would you be accountable if you murdered? The reason you're not answering.
Pay these sets of questions.
No, but you haven't answered my question. My question is that do you know that murder is wrong?
The universe.
I've answered you.
No, you haven't. You haven't answered. You haven't answered the question. Do you believe that murder is wrong?
Do I believe it's wrong?
Yes.
Sorry, what's my question?
No, wait.
Oh,
Let him
sorry,
answer the question first. I'm surprised you have to think about this.
No, because in the construct of a non-dual world, obviously murder is considered wrong.
In your worldview, is murder wrong?
World.
In your worldview, is murder wrong?
And I think that the fabric of reality accepts that these things happen. It's not a
Morally
personal
wrong.
thing.
I'm not saying if it happens or not. I'm asking you. In your worldview, is murder considered to be wrong?
Would you mind if it happened to you?
You see, he can't even answer this simple question, and then he's asking
Would
us.
you care if it happened to your loved one?
Well, it happens. I accept that happens in reality.
But you're not
But
nature,
do-
you're a human being.
Is it desirable?
No, but you earlier said no one is accountable.
And he's talking about crimes.
If it
by
happens,
other
wait.
people.
If it happens, and you just admitted it happens, who should be held accountable for that?
Okay, can I just
You wanna
I
answer?
will answer- I will
You want to answer that
The
question?
murderer. Do I get a
that,
point?
and I was going to ask Kay about this, but the answer to that is
Yeah.
that I said to you, and you're saying about accountability, I'm saying that people have responsibility to not murder, for instance.
Based on what moral value?
Hold on. They have responsibility.
He's a pantheist. He's a
They
pantheist.
have responsibility, but they don't have blame. There's no point in blaming a murderer. They are the product of all that's happened before them, their circumstances, their parenting,
Is
their
it for real?
genetics, they are the product of that. It's not to say you wouldn't put them in prison to protect the public, but they are not to blame for who they are.
So none of the criminals are basically guilty. They all have some reason. They all have some reason. Come on, seriously?
I love this. The Jewish, the Christians, the Muslims.
Amen.
The logical ones and the illogical ones.
Can I ask you a question? If you had the guy,
If you do not hold a criminal accountable for his crime, then you do not live in a civilized world.
I said you hold them accountable, but they're not to blame. They're responsible for their actions. But there's no point vilifying them or saying that they're
So now you're saying they're accountable.
they're responsible.
Are they accountable?
Well, in that
But not
sense,
to
they're
blame.
accountable. Yeah. They're
But earlier you denied it. You said nobody's accountable.
not blame. I said not to blame.
Now you're using semantics like here.
Hold on, Ashes. Can I take your wallet, please? Because I'm the victim of my wallet's been taken before.
Nah,
Can
I
take
got
your
better.
wallet?
Give me the keys to your home.
I think you don't understand. You see.
Oh, I do understand. I think you're okay.
Give me the keys to your home.
He doesn't have a wallet because
I
he's
don't blame you, my children.
And give me the address as well.
you're not my dad. That's for sure.
if you've got a fellow there, there's 10 people,
Is it stopped?
and he takes out a knife,
Yeah, well.
right? And you tell him
It's right.
to do that, and he says, I know it's wrong, I know I'm doing a bad thing, and he stops standing.
So why is he doing
Is he
it?
accountable?
Just for fun. In this scenario, just for fun.
He knows it's wrong.
Yes. Why is he doing it?
For fun.
Sorry, why is he doing
Please
what?
say for
Why is
fun.
he going to stab a number of people?
For fun.
You don't know and you don't care.
He might be a psychopath.
For fun.
Why is he doing
Why is
that?
it right? Why is the lady?
You made up the story. So what's the answer? Why is he doing it?
For a very
Why is he
intricate
doing it?
reason that the
Because last
universe
night had a bad
knows.
night.
Okay, and then he's going to stab.
Has anyone got time on?
Is that a realistic construct?
Of course
Oh
it is.
gosh, is it realistic to say that the universe is
time?
eternal?
What's the time?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
4:34.
So the point is,
I don't know. We got another person come in, so we had to go with the pantheist. Guys, can you make this into 2 videos? The cave with the Christians and the pantheists, a separate argument.
Logic versus illogic is a type.
That I agree with you, because he's contradicted himself many times.
his choice to be in
Okay,
that state of
not to be in
mind.
that state of mind, but to do it, he is to blame.
No, not to blame. He's responsible for his actions.
It's semantics.
How is he held
Semantics, come on, you know that. It is semantics.
means there's I bear consequence for what I do. In
Everyone's
what way
got
is he bearing-
consequences.
And
You
what's
only
the
have to
consequences that he bears?
The consequences is that he will potentially be put in prison to protect
but for
the
no fault of
society.
his own? For no fault of his own.
No.
Just
Well,
bad
okay,
luck, I guess.
Well, yeah, it is actually.
So you're saying you don't agree with the whole moral value system in the
Please,
that-
God,
Actually, no, forget it. You don't believe in any justice system, in other words.
No.
So you're saying that all justice systems are wrong,
It's just to protect the
according to him.
Public protection. Yeah.
Oh man.
I wonder what.
consequence.
Public protection has got consequences.
No. With that, so if we were, sorry,
He's
if
a
we were
pantheist,
living in if we were living in a very small village, there's maybe 5 of us.
All right,
we're
I think we should
quite
wrap up now.
armed,
It's been
we're
long,
all,
yeah?
We're all able to defend
because
ourselves, and he kills
can't-
a baby. But there are only 5 people in the village. We can easily demolish him physically, but we decide we'll put him in prison. It's not to protect.
He doesn't
us,
believe in justice
It's a
system.
consequence.
That's what
of
it-
his
yeah.
action.
For him, there's no good and evil.
No,
Do you
there's
believe in
no
good and
children.
evil?
He's killed them.
I don't think he does.
There's no
I
justice
don't-
system, there's no good and
I
evil.
don't label behaviours in the terms of good and evil.
So what do
base
you
of
define
laws
as good and evil?
I just told you I don't.
Everything's
define
illogical in
things
this
in that.
argument,
Oh man,
unfortunately.
there's no good and evil.
Well, these.
Are there men and women?
I see a lot
Are
of
there
good and evil in
genders?
this world.
Yeah. Are there genders, sir?
Let's not broaden this. It's bad
It's not
enough.
broadening it. We're talking about men,
I see a
humankind
lot.
killing.
Where do you arrive your belief from? Where does
Pantheism, apparently.
Yeah.
From his own mind. Is there an
Do you
external
see
truth
that as a
source for you?
logical- You see that logical?
Evidently, I do. Yes.
That a murderer is only punished to protect the public, not for his actions. It's not
I know it's not logical. You know that as well.
I know it. I tell you.
How can it be logical when you don't even believe that there is good and bad in this world? Which is
free
obvious.
will. The murderer had to murder because there's no free will at him. He says so.
Hold on. For all 3 representatives of the major
Abrahamic-
Abrahamic religions,
I'm honoured,
welcome.
sir.
Here's a possibility. that
You're talking
that
nonsense.
humanity has created a god-like system, a monotheistic god system that puts the power of their society into a more powerful kind of godlike system, and that has been propagated throughout time to create a degree of social control, not necessarily. No.
Did they do it with free will?
Not
Did they have
necessarily-
free will when they
Let him finish, guys. Let him
Can I
finish.
say something? But no.
Okay.
No. So you've got this construct, and this construct you
Stemming
would
from
put
innate
into
goodness.
this eternal construct of society. Now, one of the things that you can define is your consciousness, but there's what's more possible, what's more hypothetically possible. So, for instance, if another out of solar system set of beings created humans through genetic engineering and then wanted to be treated like the god and the creator of those humans, then you would be potentially worshipping that group of creators. However, those creators have a consciousness, so that consciousness is actually universal out of time and space.
So you-
in a sense, what is actually the observer consciousness in them is the universal consciousness that I'm talking about.
No, but your universal consciousness, define that. Define universal.
The gods are
We got it.
worthful,
Move on.
and it is. So you said, well, why does everyone do this around the world?
No, I'm
And
saying without the-
no. You said.
Yes.
Why does everyone?
Yes, and you didn't
in the
answer me.
I'm answering you.
No, you're not.
The tribes around the world. Why do they
You're not.
ascribe this creator god? And what
No,
I'm
they
saying
didn't
is,
all do that
and what
though.
I'm saying is that we ascribe emotions and power to the things we don't understand, and that's what.
And
I'm
therefore
saying
they can't be
humanity is
true.
about.
Is
No,
my
But
first
aren't
point.
you guilty of doing the same thing? You have
Pantheism is a
ascribed
religious
power
point of view.
and basically majesty in some way to the universe.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So you are guilty of the same thing as those primitive people. I don't know why you call them primitive, because your idea is exactly as them, which you call primitive.
No, well,
Yes, for you everything is God. So if there was some waste over there, that would be God. If there would be some diamonds over there, that would be God. So regardless of what in the universe, every material matter for you is God. You see what I mean? To me, that's primitive.
Is toilet paper God?
Well, even the poop in the toilet would be God too.
Because God's not in the supermarket.
There is no material matter. This is all
What do you
energy.
mean?
Whoa. What do you mean there's
Sorry,
no?
There is no material matter. The only reason why there is any mass is because of the Higgs field, which is a quantum field.
You're saying there's
How would you
no
define matter?
physical
Wait.
matter.
How do you define matter? Let's see.
Energy.
Matter is just energy?
Yeah.
And is energy matter?
No, energy equals.
So then matter is existing. Thank you very much.
Energy equals mass.
If it,
But Einstein.
yeah, mass times the speed of light twice.
All of this universe
E is equal to
is
MC².
a set of fields.
Yes.
There is no solid
There's no
energy.
supernatural.
It's
By the way,
a
where
function.
where did energy come
I
from?
can't follow what you're
Let's see if
saying.
he knows
I'm
that.
quite
Where did energy come?
Understand what I'm
I
saying
wa-
doesn't mean
No,
it's
I
rubbish.
understand what you're saying. I don't understand how you get to
Okay,
that.
1 minute. Where did energy come from according to you?
It's eternal.
It just is.
It's justice? No. Where did it come? Where's the origin of energy?
Same kind of thing as
No,
God, isn't it?
no, it's not eternal. Energy is not eternal. If that's what you're trying to say.
I think you'll talk about
Energy is
that
finite.
energy is eternal.
No, it's not.
finite.
No scientist define energy as eternal.
Electricity
Okay?
runs
Because you
out,
see,
coal
energy. If you look,
burns
if you read the law of thermodynamics. Wait. If you, what do you mean? Which version? How many versions are there?
Of energy.
Energy.
Conservation of a finite resource.
Energy basically-
It can be transferred.
Energy cannot even exist without a closed system. Okay, so energy has been defined as it cannot be created or destroyed in a closed system.
Cannot be what?
Created or destroyed in a closed system. Okay, and something you need to realize that
Universally is not.
this is one of the laws of thermodynamics. Another law is about entropy. Entropy is where actually everything, for example, which is energy, it actually deteriorates in terms of energy. For example, if you had a car and you kept it for 10,000 years, it won't be a car anymore because it has deteriorated. So everything that is energy has deterioration. It does deteriorate.
Order.
What about the order?
Entropy is order. It's not the energy. It's the order.
Yeah, the order basically comes, the order which is organized at one point comes to an end. The order comes to an end. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So not everything, because you say energy is eternal, doesn't make it eternal.
It does.
It has an origin.
Proved anything different to that?
I have. I told you need a closed system.
You talked about entropy. This is a closed system.
Yeah, but no scientist says the universe is eternal.
This is a closed system.
Yeah, after it's created, yeah. After its existence, yes. But before, it didn't used to even exist.
Scientists don't know, but what they are
Scientists don't know, and you know? Wow.
but what they are saying now.
My friend, your God is a creation of God. Your God is a creation of my God. That's it. End of it. Okay? Anyway, thanks for your time, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just told him his God is a creation of my God. Well, our God. Because we believe in one God.
I'm just very happy
We
to
believe
see
in
you
one
two,
God.
You know, had a nice chat on the same side for once.
Come more
It stopped
often
raining.
and we'll,
No, but honestly, people who believe in the universe as God, you believe in the creation as God, basically. That's what it boils down to.
Well, that's the choice. I'm saying the universe
I've got to say it. That's your free choice. That's your free will in action.
Yeah.
You're not forced into that conclusion, are you?
I'm surprised you didn't answer my question, that if you were given a choice, what would you come as?
I think because it's like when you've asked me questions like this before.
What would be your ideal state of existence if you were given the choice?
What's the ideal state
Yeah.
of existence? I honestly, unless
Would you
you're
come as a unicorn? Would you come as a human being? I don't know. What would you want to come
If
as?
you don't want this
If you were given,
gun to
you
your head,
kept saying, I did not have a choice to be born. If you were given the choice, let's say hypothetically, no, anything you want, that's a choice, unlimited.
Nothing.
Yes.
Do you
So
believe
you
in
would you would not want to exist. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Why?
there goes your whole logic about asking questions about what should happen to me, why this, why was I not given a choice? You see, my friend, even if you were given the choice, you would take the most illogical, the most mediocre choice that you out there, basically, which is nothing.
Nothing.
That means you wouldn't even want to exist.
That's very
There you go.
sad.
That would be your free choice,
As I said,
Please God, don't let me be existing even.
as I said,
He's
it's
joking.
an impossible.
No, I'm not. That's what
No,
he's
I'm
saying.
talking to God.
Yeah.
As I say, it's an impossible question. To
It's not an impossible. You asked me many hypothetical questions. I asked you one.
No.
It's only fair.
The universe
Because
is just
there are
a
so
set of
many
something.
conditions of
Anyway, thanks
of
very
what
much, Hashim.
you
No
could
problem.
say. Any answer that I give could be kind of deconstructed, and any answer I give would be incomplete. So.
But your ideal state of existence would be nothing. That's what you're saying.
Well, okay, be pure consciousness.
Then that is not nothing. Okay? How do you define pure consciousness?
Just awareness.
Just awareness? Yeah, but what would you be to be aware?
I would just be awareness.
What is that? Awareness itself is a concept. You know that.
So I would.
You
be,
cannot touch awareness. It's an abstract. So you, you're saying you just want to be an
It's an
abstract thing.
experience, isn't it?
So
No, your awareness is an
No,
experience.
yeah, awareness is awareness of what? First and foremost, awareness of your surroundings. Yes? So you need to have space. You need to have time to become aware, to be aware. So space and time are necessary for you. For you. You cannot, there has to be time. Because otherwise, for you to say I'm aware,
Time, space.
there is the space-time continuum has to be there for you to be aware.
Well, I don't know that, do I?
Well, for you as a human being to be aware. But because you're saying awareness, you need to be some entity to be aware.
Allah, in your terms, has got awareness and is outside of space-time. So awareness does not have to be within space-time.
Yeah, but Allah is not nothing. You said you want to be nothing.
I said awareness.
Yeah, but Allah is not just awareness or just consciousness. That's why I told you these things are abstract. These things are something that's not tangible. But you want to be, if you want to,
Awareness isn't abstract.
yeah, do you not consider it to be something which is what do you say? Is basically a concept,
No, it's an experience.
or rather, is a. How do you define consciousness? Is the awareness that you exist, that I am. Yes, the I am thing, that I exist. Sorry.
It's the awareness.
yes.
It's the observer part of your mind body
Yeah.
in space-time, but it could be outside of space-time.
Yeah. So you need to be something to be aware. You can't just be awareness. I mean, you
No,
can't.
But you're just saying that, but you neither of us can answer that question, to be honest.
No, it is because awareness and concept comes from your own existence, isn't it?
No,
it's,
no, that's a straw
it's
man.
your
That's a straw
no.
man
It's not a straw man argument. Consciousness doesn't exist by itself. It needs an entity to make to basically experience that, to have thought, to think. Yes, you need to be something to manifest those things of awareness, of feelings, of emotions. You cannot just be nothing and then have awareness. That would be nonsensical.
Well, I don't think it's nonsensical.
It is, because awareness itself, it doesn't just appear to be like in its own existence.
Well, that's where we differ.
No, we don't, because awareness is of a body, of an entity who is aware of itself.
Well,
It doesn't just float in the air, awareness,
It does.
or feelings, or consciousness. It doesn't. Not to. If you can show me any example from the universe where it just floats by itself without having any.
No, I did a while ago. I spoke to you about the double slit experiment. Did you ever look it up?
What's that got to do with awareness?
So that is the relationship between the observer and the observed, and the So this is about quantum field theory, and ultimately the concept is that everything is just a wave of energy until it's observed. And when it becomes observed, it acts like particles or more material kind of function. And that is...
And who is observing that?
So if you have an experiment of the double slit...
No, I understood that. I'm asking you, who is observing it?
I'm just trying to answer.
Okay.
If you've got the double slit experiment and you observe that experiment, it will act like a particle. If you don't observe it, it'll act like a wave.
Who is observing it?
Humans.
Exactly. So this human is not nothing.
No, what I'm saying is that the particles that you're observing are not...
Yeah, but in our
are changed.
in our discourse, wait. In our discourse, that's irrelevant. What happens to whether it's a wave or a particle? In our discourse, I'm asking you about awareness. In order for you to experience, yes, you need to be at least a sentient being. Yes. At least.
Sentient.
Yes, sentient.
What's your definition of sentient?
Someone or something that has feelings or can feel, can feel. Yes.
Is a plant a sentient being?
Plant feels, yeah.
Sentient?
I would say to an extent it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think it's a clear definition.
There is a clear definition. It's in the dictionary. Yes, it is in the dictionary. You can check it out if you want. He brings up his dictionary. He's just Googling for it.
Doesn't sentient mean it reacts to its surroundings?
Assalamu alaikum. Edinburgh, all right?
Does it mean sentient?
No, that's awareness. That's consciousness. Yeah, I suppose so. It can be, yes.
To its surroundings.
So
I mean, if
it is basically your feelings, something that has feelings, as opposed to thoughts and think. Because
So sentient is able to perceive or feel things.
carry on.
There you go.
As opposed to think. There's another one.
Yeah, feel from the verb
Okay.
feeling.
So I'm right, yeah?
Yeah,
Sentient.
you're right, but that's
Yes.
not awareness.
Well, I didn't say that was awareness. I said that's sentient.
Yeah, but you
That's why awareness is basically. So look, for me, consciousness is if you think, then you exist. In the most simplest form.
I think, so therefore I am.
Yes, I think therefore I am. Yes, who was it?
Descartes.
Descartes. Yeah. So this philosopher, Descartes, or however Descartes, how we pronounce it. Yeah. So basically, that's what awareness is. So basically, someone who is at least able to think.
No.
Yes, at least.
No, but he
And that's the reason we don't say plants are conscious or aware, because we don't think plants think like the way we do, you know. At least we don't only think, we rationalize things. So everything, for example, for you, that your brain and your nervous system plays an important role in your consciousness and your awareness. So these things are necessary, because if you don't have them, if you don't have those faculties, then you wouldn't be aware, you wouldn't be conscious. But there are other forms who are aware and conscious. Maybe they don't require this. Like for example, the angels, in which I would believe in, because things of the metaphysical we don't know about. Scientists cannot know about those things.
That's partly the thing when you say, oh, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, I don't know what can or can't be done. But what I am talking about is, and also in relationship to I think therefore I am, is we're not talking about thoughts, we're talking about the psychological or the awareness state that can even observe thoughts. So it's not the thoughts themselves that...
Who can observe thoughts? Other than yourself? Who can observe thoughts?
The observer self in you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So other than yourself, nobody can observe your thoughts. You see what I mean? At least not a mortal.
No, what I would say is that the shared consciousness that you have, that I have, that an animal has.
It's not shared.
Well, what I'm saying is
it's consciousness.
Yeah. I'm saying it's a shared consciousness.
How do you mean shared? Like I don't know what you're thinking and you don't know what I'm thinking. So how is it shared?
No, right. So it's the same.
You mean like a common,
yes.
Characteristic? Yeah,
it's like the air,
that's fine.
You
know,
it's kind of
it's a common. But
no.
I think we started this thing about consciousness based on.
Universal.
No. I'm saying consciousness requires an object, like an entity, for it to realize that it is aware. You cannot just say consciousness exists by itself in some.
Where did you get that from?
Well, you said consciousness.
You said it's
I'm saying consciousness is aware. What is aware? The object who's conscious is aware. So you need some body, some person, some entity to be aware of the surroundings. Consciousness itself cannot just float in the air. I just told you.
No, you told me, but where did you get the information
from? Based on the definition of consciousness.
Well, we're talking about metaphysical consciousness.
Exactly, and I'm talking about metaphysical as well, because I do not believe that any scientist out there can actually observe consciousness, or even, I don't know, pinpoint consciousness. All they can say is that yes, your brain and your nervous system play an important role in consciousness. So if you remove part of your brain, maybe that part of the brain might be controlling some ability for you to be conscious. For example, your sight. Yes, it might control your sight, that part of the brain. So what they are saying is that this part plays an important role in certain aspect of your consciousness. That's all they can say. However, they cannot observe under a microscope that there is consciousness inside the brain or inside the cells of the brain, the neurons. They cannot observe this, but they still accept it. They still accept it, and that is the beauty of the metaphysical, that even those scientists who actually do not believe in the metaphysical, they accept it without evidence. Without any empirical evidence, at least.
No, but there is empirical evidence.
For what? For consciousness?
Of your own consciousness.
How can it be empirical if it's subjective?
Well, it's subjective.
And empirical evidence has to be objective, observable. I don't know, at least it should be something testable and something you can prove to other people. Just if it's subjective, it's not considered as empirical.
So what how are you aware of your own awareness?
How am I aware?
Of your own awareness.
Well, like I said, based on the definition of awareness and consciousness, yes, I know that I'm aware and conscious. That I know my surroundings.
But if you...
So it is, in my case, it would be more...
If you were blind and
even then, you would be aware of your surroundings.
And you're paralyzed. So you
doesn't matter.
So,
doesn't matter.
So
the fact that you are living, yes, and so unless, like I said, your nervous system and brain completely shuts down, then you wouldn't be aware.
So life.
That means you would be dead anyway.
So it's your definition.
That is called stroke, I think.
It's almost the definition of life, then.
No, not just life. It's basically some people are unconscious. Yes.
They've got consciousness.
No. Some people are unconscious. They might be in a state of coma, but they're still alive.
They still have awareness.
They have consciousness. Yes, they have consciousness.
So that's the consciousness that I am talking about.
Yeah.
So we could be in a coma. We could have no physical thing. But so that is your definition of life and death, then.
No, it's not. To be alive. To be alive means you need at least to be breathing. Yes, you need to be breathing. Yes, and when you're breathing, you don't know. For example, even the people. Listen. Even the people who are unconscious or in a coma, yes, even they are thinking. So they might be having dreams, which we don't know. They might be. Yes, they're not dead, remember? And anyone who can think is considered to be aware and conscious.
Yeah. So
is that good enough for you?
So you can artificially breathe. You can't artificially have consciousness.
Artificial breathing doesn't mean you can't think.
No, what I'm saying.
You can't think.
No, you're not waiting for the argument.
Okay.
So basically, you would keep if you were a doctor, you could keep somebody alive through artificial breathing.
Yeah.
When do you decide whether somebody is alive or dead?
When when you see their vital systems shut down.
But you can keep all those going, like
Yeah.
in a coma.
So
would you
if they are in a coma, then they are alive.
so you would keep them?
Yes. So you know that little beep on your ECG, when it goes flatline, then you're dead.
But say if you had a mechanic to keep an artificial heart beating forever, and you keep
I don't
your
think there's
breathing,
such a thing.
Well, then you can keep your breathing. I'm just throwing it for an argument.
Yeah, but your argument is basically so, unrealistic that it cannot. It is because there's no such thing as a perpetual machine. They tried it, but they failed so
What
far.
I'm saying is you're lying down and you're being pumped blood through your system.
It can't be forever.
Well,
Trust me, it can't. You can never. Trust me, you can never have a perpetual machine, whether it is manually operated
what I'm
or
asking
it
is
is.
what would you as a doctor do if somebody is on life support, they're in a coma, and in your own definition, they're alive?
Yeah.
Would you at any point decide to turn off that life support?
I don't know. I can't have that choice given to me. Okay, because I as a person, I don't know the state of that person. It's on a case-by-case basis.
No, but
Some people,
I'm just saying.
some people want to keep.
an ethical frame.
Yeah, there are many people who would keep their, their family alive on a machine in a coma for a very long time, even 20, 30 years. Yes, some people have actually woken up from the coma after that time. What does Islam say? I don't know. I think there's difference of opinion on that.
What are the differences?
So some say yes, they can be kept on this life support machine. Some say there's no need. I don't know. Like I said, it's on a case-by-case basis. Yes, but there's no such thing as a perpetual
But
machine.
it's interesting that internal consciousness, like I'm sure people of Islam and Christianity, or any belief system would say that person has got a life at that
Yeah.
point.
So a person in a coma is considered alive. It's not dead.
Yeah. And people in society do make that difficult decision to turn off.
It is. Yeah, it's a very
And
difficult
based
decision.
on
Yeah.
really whether there's any hope for a greater
Yeah.
life, although there are
Yeah.
exceptions.
It's the same thing with some people who want to go through treatment for cancer. Some people say, do you want to go through the chemotherapy or not? Some people say, no, I don't want to, because I know if I'm in a stage 4, then maybe this is just to keep the pain away or something like that. Yeah, it's called palliative. What's it called?
Palliative care.
Palliative, yeah. And that's what it is. So again, it comes down to the family, I suppose, who makes this ultimate.
But this is an ultimate
really difficult decision.
that- and you're kind of, in the sense of Islam, saying Allah doesn't want to give decisions to human beings that they can't cope with, and yet those decisions.
No, it is
have to
not-
be- those decisions.
No,
have
I
to
don't
be
think
made.
so. I don't think so. I think there's a difference between killing someone in cold blood, especially children and infants, going from door to door and hacking them to death, like it happened in the case of the Bible, the Amalekites. That's very different to someone who is at the end of their life, basically.
They could be a child.
It could be a child, yeah, I'm not saying no, but I'm saying if everyone, including the doctors, have given up hope and there's no cure, no treatment for them, then they have to make this ultimate painful decision. Yes, it is not easy, but it's painful. But I wouldn't say it's beyond the scope of that or the ability of those people to make that decision.
You don't think it would be in the realms of kind of Islam to give a guidance on this?
Oh, that's why there's a difference of opinion. So Islam, I don't think, says clearly that kill them or don't put them on life machine. Because, there have been cases. The doctors have told us that this person, there's no future for this person. The person is going to die, so might as well switch off. But the families insisted, no, we'll keep them on the life support machine. He's in a coma. We'll see what happens. And many of them actually woke up from the coma.
These are ethical.
Yeah, I know, but look, at the end of the day, if the family, based on the circumstances they are in, decide, then it should be left to the family, I think. Let's leave it that way.
Your
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
John.
John? Thanks a lot, John. All right. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this long discussion.
You've been in it like how long with
Yeah, I know. With K as well, yeah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What was it?
It was all over the place.
What was it?
He's a pantheist, by the way.